Hi guys, welcome to Jeronimo's kitchen. I know a lot of you have been waiting a while for this, and finally it is here. I'm going to be sharing a whole lot of my dishes with you guys all over the world, wherever you are. Home cooked, like I said. This evening we're actually going to make 3 courses. We're going to start with a potato pumpkin bisque, and I'm going to saute some shrimp and add it on top of the soup with some shaved almonds. Our second course is going to be a mixed green cranberry Granny Smith apple salad, and we're going to have some homemade vinaigrette with that. Then we're going to pan-sear a piece of salmon. We're going to lay that on a bed, just a little puree of pesto mashed potatoes, and we're going to saute some broccoli with Brussels sprouts and some shaved almonds for that. It's going to be awesome. Alright, so we're going to start with the soup. I have here some cubed potatoes. We already gone ahead and cubed some pumpkin. We have a Jamaican Scotch bonnet pepper. We have some diced yellow onion, some chopped garlic, and some chopped chives. If you notice, my kitchen always has a lot of Jamaican grown vegetables, herbs, and ground provisions. We have chives, parsley, cilantro, all from Jamaica. And of course, the potatoes grown right in Christiana on my farm. So we start off by just, cubing some potatoes. And we're going to add our cubed potatoes and our pumpkin to some water that I already have boiling on the stove. Alright? So we have boiled our potatoes and pumpkin. Now we're going to make this cream of pumpkin and potato. So we have our, my instrument of choice is a magic bullet. Or you can use a NutriBullet. You can use a blender as well, but I find a blender doesn't give you that very creamy consistency that I'm looking for. So I'll work with the magic bullet. Alright, so we're just going to add a few pieces of pumpkin and some potatoes, and we're going to do this in batches. Right? Then we're going to add some whole milk, just about enough to cover the contents. We want to add a piece of Scotch bonnet, and Scotch bonnet doesn't only give heat, but it gives this flavor, such a good flavor. Alright, so then we add some chives, just a little bit chives, some onions, and just a tad of garlic. Just a tad. And we have this little chicken bouillon thing. We're going to add just a little piece of that. Just screw that up. Alright, so as soon as you're pureed, we're going to pour this in a pot, and then we're going to just, leave it over low heat. So maybe if you want to plate it later, or you have your friends coming over, you're just prepping ahead of time. But we should probably taste it. Oh gosh, divine. This is lovely. Very creamy. You can taste the garlic, the chives, the Scotch bonnet. It's lovely. Lovely. You guys should really try this at home. Alright, so if you know me, you know that I love my salad. I try to have a salad every day. Tonight's salad is going to be a cranberry mixed greens salad with Granny Smith apples, some dried cranberries, shaved almonds, and we're going to add, we're going to make this little homemade vinaigrette from apple cider vinegar, some honey, and a little bit of this sauce that I picked up in the supermarket that I seem to put in everything these days. Some spicy sweet ginger. It adds just that little punch that you need for a salad like this. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and chop some celeries. And we just put that over Sprinkle that over it. I find myself that I like celery a lot as well. It has that little kick. Most people will probably think it's kind of pungent, but not me. I like the flavor that it gives to everything, to sauces, stews, and definitely in salads as well. So we just want to core this apple. You don't want to add any seeds. We don't want the pit of it actually. So just a simple cubing of that. I love granny apple, it's very firm. So just add some, you know, kind of scatter it all over. Looking for that balance, you know, balance in color. That. We have some cherry tomatoes grown here in Jamaica as well. They are a little bit on the pricier side when the season is out, but sometimes we can get them real cheap. In the country we used to call these tomatoes. Nobody would eat them. Now I come to Kingston and see them being sold for like $500 for a pop. Just want to add them all over there. And then we have some local kale that I've already pulled apart. But the secret with kale is that it has this little bark on the side. You want to remove it. You can do it by hand or by knife. You just want to pull it apart and then you can just break it apart. Like that, you know. Alright, we have some red onions. Now the secret with red onions is that it has a very strong flavor. If you just brush it with vinegar, like apple cider vinegar, it kind of takes away that little overly tangy, kind of pungent kick. You understand? But I love some red onions if you ask me. Alright, so this is feta cheese. Feta cheese is very plain. It's what I've done, I've added some honey to it, so it gives it that added sweet kind of flavor. So I'm just going to add little chunks of feta there all over it. God, mercy. So now that we've assembled the salad, we want to make a homemade vinaigrette. And the good thing about making your own salad dressing, vinaigrette, whatever you want to call it, at home, is that you get to control the flavors. You can decide whether you want it sweet. Some people even want it spicy. Preferably I like the very light kind of sweet and sour flavor. So I've come up with my own recipe. I'm going to add just about a tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar. Then we're going to add a half tablespoon of honey. That seems like about it. And then just a dollop of this sweet, spicy ginger sauce that I picked up in the grocery store. And it actually has like little chunks of ginger in it, which makes it, you know, pretty nice. So now we have that together. We're going to use a whisk, and we're just going to whisk that. This actually smells good, whether or not you want to believe it. You know? It tastes even better. Right? I'm just going to take that and we're going to drizzle it over that